Hey, what's up, guys? How we doing? So we're going to continue on looking at players that were drafted today in the 2013 Major League Draft. So far, we've looked at J.P. Crawford, high school shortstop from Southern California that was drafted by the Phillies, 16th overall, and we've looked at Reese McGuire, a catcher from Washington, another high school player drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates, 14th overall. And now we're going to look at Kris Bryant, a college third baseman from the University of San Diego, was drafted second overall by the Chicago Cubs. Probably the biggest power bat in the draft. 6'5", about 215 pounds or so. So big, huge kid playing third base. Tons of power potential. And the real only question, I guess, will be is whether he stays at third or moves over to first or perhaps even moves to a corner outfield spot. So we're going to look at his game a little bit, look at some of the things that I like that he does. The reason why we're doing this is if you're a player that's either in high school or college and hopes to be drafted one day, we want to look at some players drafted in the first round so you get an idea of what it looks like, what a first round pick looks like, and so we can learn some things watching them, some of the things that they do well that maybe we can take and implement into our game. So I'll play the video and we'll first watch Bryant fields some ground balls at third base. And this video is a little bit long. He takes a lot of ground balls. We'll go over fielding and then we'll go into his hitting a little bit. One thing I did notice, it's impressive being 6'5". Obviously makes it a little bit tougher to play at third base, but he has pretty good feet and he has a pretty good arm. He's got a pretty good feel for third base for being as big as he is. Being that big, it's tough to get down there sometimes, but one thing when he's fielding the ball, I think he's kind of got a narrow stance when he gets down to field. I think if he widened out a little bit and make it a little bit easier on him to get down there, that's one thing I did notice. But that's just kind of, I guess, personal preference. A couple slow rollers. Here we'll see. One thing also playing third base, when we talked about it in past videos, is learning how to take angles on balls. It's all about really taking, as you see there, a little drop step. So he's always looking to field the best hop that he possibly can, and that's the big thing at third base. Ball's on you quick, and you got to make a decision. Do you come in? Do you back up? Do you drop step? Always looking to try to field that either short hop or long hop, and stay away from that in between hop is the important thing. There you see him step up, field the short hop. So at third base, it's key to have good feet. Another thing that I notice a lot of people talking about is, when you watch him go through this video, he's fielding a lot of ground balls, and a lot of players, a lot of younger kids will say, well, looks like he's kind of loafing out there. Looks like he's not working as hard as he can, or he's, not giving it 100% effort. And the truth is, when you get older, the whole idea, fielding-wise, is to slow the game down. That's one thing. Young players, the game speeds up on them. And I'll pause it real quick before we get to the hitting so I can just touch on this real quick. But it's really important to slow the game down as you get older. And that's why when you watch videos of major league players or really good players in college like Brian here, when they're fielding in practice, they don't go 100%. You want to see how slow and how controlled and how relaxed you can do things. You're really trying to slow the game down. And if you try to do it 100% effort all the time, what you really end up doing is speeding the game up. So don't look at the video. I noticed in the comment sections I checked out a couple of his videos to kind of get some footage of him, and a lot of people in the comment sections are saying it doesn't look like he's trying, and I see that a lot in videos with older players. Young kids think they're not trying hard. They're trying hard, but what they're doing is they're slowing the game down. So that's one thing you can learn is you don't have to go 100%, and if you don't want to go 100% in the field. So it's not a lack of trying. It's just he's doing it on purpose to do everything he can. You want to field the ball and throw the ball. Obviously, you need to do it somewhat quickly because the guy is running down the bases. But in practice, you can work on doing things as slow as you possibly can, as controlled as you can, really focusing on technique. And that's how you really end up slowing the game down. So let's go into his hitting now. And you can see really wide stance for a big kid. There's not a whole lot of movement, but just notice how he gets ready to hit. Notice the rhythm that he has. Again, a lot of young kids, when I watch them, there's not a lot of rhythm, and you can see how, although there's not a big move here, and this isn't classified as a big load by any means, but he does have rhythm. He does get back to hit, and we'll play it again real quick. And being as big as he is, he doesn't need to do as much. He can rely on that 6'5" frame, 215 pounds, has a lot of leverage. You can see, get ready to hit. So he hit 31 home runs this year, I think, which was the most in the country, and I'm sure he's going to have a long career and hit for a lot of power. It just really depends on where he plays defensively. So there's a couple things to hit on with Kris Bryant. The big things again that I like in the field and that you can pick up on is just go back and watch the way that he takes those angles, how he's always using his feet, always looking to pick out the best hop that you possibly can. It doesn't always mean you're going to have to charge the ball. Sometimes you can drop step and back up and get the ball and create a long hop instead of always coming in on the ball. But it's important at third base to use your feet as well as you can. And then the second thing is trying to slow the game down, and in practice always think about doing things as smoothly, as calmly, as relaxed as you possibly can, and that's how you really get a feel for slowing it down instead of speeding it up like a lot of young players do. So hope this helped you guys out. Let me know if you have any questions. You can put it in the comment section below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, all that good stuff, and we'll talk to you later.